Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires today. Quis custodiet ipsos custodes. Well, we will be, as T90 playing as the Malay in red gets ready to duke it out with redphosphoru playing as the very same Malay in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, knowing redphosphoru probably Castle Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the one and only civilization that we will be watching today. Now, the Malay, primarily a naval civilization, but one that comes with a few late-game land features that are incredibly powerful. To start with, their battle elephants become progressively cheaper as the game goes on. 25% off in Castle, 35% discounted in Imperial. They get all infantry armor upgrades for free, which is great because their militia line units can be upgraded to cost absolutely no gold. So while the Malay don't actually get champions, this upgrade, when combined with supplies, essentially turns their two-handed swordsmen into fairly cheap trash units that cost only 65 food. Now, if you don't want to spam two-handed swordsmen, if you don't want to spam elephants, well, you can spam a third type of unit. In this particular case, the unique unit of the Malay, the Karambit Warrior. This is an incredibly cheap, super fast, but on the whole, kind of weak infantry unit that only takes up half a population space, which means if you've got 20 of them, they only take up 10 population room. Now, in order to help you get these late game features, upgrades, bonuses, etc., whatever you want to call it, and powerful units as fast as possible, the Malay do advance to the next age much faster than normal, which means you can either rush to the next age, or if you prefer to focus on your economy for a while, maybe take a little pleasant stroll through these very Monet picturesque bed of flowers, or rather this Monet picturesque bed of flowers, you can do so and catch up to your opponent fairly quickly. So that is the one and only civilization we've got before us. Now, why did I choose this game? Oh, by the way, speaking of primarily a naval civilization, there's a little bit of water on the attack path between base A and base B. Not something you see every day on Arabia. Now, this center relic is definitely something you do see on Arabia every day, as T90 pulls in his boar. Let's take a look at the bases. Now, I was about to say, why do I want to cast this game? I mean, there's so many reasons. Number one, look at who's playing. You've got the greatest caster in the history of the game, T90. You've got redphosphoru, who's made quite a name for himself on T90's channel and on this channel, and basically on anybody's channel. Anybody who casts, watches, and enjoys his games knows who redphosphoru is. Number two, it's a mirror matchup, which essentially means there's no advantage or disadvantage to either player. My villagers don't carry more resources than yours. Your villagers don't walk faster than mine. Yours don't come with armor upgrades. Mine don't get supremacy and kick your ass in Imperial Age. Everything is equal. Everyone is equal. Everyone is working with the exact same set of tools. Whether those tools are good or bad doesn't really matter. Everyone is saying, what a fantastic shot there, getting the deer right underneath the TC. And the third reason, look at their Elos. Look at their Elos. They are identical, which means there is literally nobody here who is favored to win. Although I will say one thing about that. Right as that came out of my mouth, T90 also getting his deer. T90's, in all fairness, probably the underdog. Just because redphosphoru has been practicing with the Malay nonstop, I want to say going on a few months now. And so, even though the Elos are the same, even though the civs are the same, even though T90 has casted probably, what do we think, close to 10,000, 15,000 games of Age of Empires 2 on all versions of the game, the player that has been practicing this one and only civilization, I think is usually generally more advantaged. But we'll see. T90, where is your stone? He's about to start getting stone. I say that because redphosphoru's already got 4 villagers on stone. Now, one thing I do want to keep my eye on, which I probably won't, given how distracted I get. Oh, look at that. Look what's flying across the map, and then I just forget everything I want to do. Villager allocation. Both players only 4 on wood. T90's got 2 extra on food. He's got 1 fewer vill on stone. Now he's got 3 extra on food. When will they go up? Off of how many villagers? Because again, I'm assuming because we're seeing redphosphoru, we're going to get to see a fast castle karambit build. Now he's been toying with that. Usually the redphosphoru builds involve a civilization whose unique unit is a wood gold unit. in which case this would have been a perfect location for a castle here, or maybe even here, to secure the gold and the wood, and then start pumping out, oh, I don't know, Rathas and War Wagons, oh my. But this, T90 clicks up first. This is a food and gold unit. Now, to be fair, saying the Karambit Warrior is a food and gold unit is a little... I mean, it's true, but it's not the full picture. It costs that unit 25 food and only 15 gold, 1-5. So on the whole, it costs 40 total resources. redphosphoru has 100 more stone than his opponent. T90's 2 fewer villagers on stone, but he will hit feudal off of 1 less villager, but ahead of his opponent by about 50 whole seconds. redphosphoru also, inexplicably, unforgivably, crazy style, has garnered 1 whole second of TC idle time. By the way, T90 now has discovered where his opponent is. redphosphoru hasn't even left the safety of his settlement just yet. Okay, so he has not scouted. I thought the redphosphoru build involved a little bit of more early scouting, but I guess because he's going for a food-intensive unit, deer pushes are a bit more important than that. Loom immediately for our red Malay. Let's take a look at how he's exposed. Where are his resources? This is a pretty much open base. You got your primary gold nice and secure to the back, stone off to the side, although I'm assuming in a little bit that's not really going to play a very important role. Extra gold to the back once he gets his 650 stone, and extra gold to the front. And where's your secondary stone pile? Nice and secure to the back. Forests completely unhelpful, as his opponent now discovers where his base is. Both players in feudal. T90's down 2 villagers. redphosphoru's ahead 2 villagers. And that's exactly why, because T90's already heading up to Castle Age. And he's sending more villagers to stone. Both of them are selling stone so they can get their butts up to the next age. And let's see where the resources are for redphosphoru. Primary gold forming part of a wall off in the forward position. Stone also in the forward position. 1 villager not exactly in the greatest of location. Let's see where else. His gold is to the back. Extra second and third golds are actually to the back. 1 whack. The scout. Oh, he's going to see the move at his T90. Ooh, he's got to move a little bit to the left. Yeah, he sees just the tip of the villagers. And it is redphosphoru who's going to be making the first move by the time his villagers get across the map. Unfortunately for them, they've got to go around a bit of a forest, which again, I don't think I've ever seen in the last, let's say, 6 or 7 months. On Arabia, a forest in the center that carves up the map like this. That being said, T90's sold his wood, bought his stone, and now he's got a castle of his own up. And it is a defensive castle. redphosphoru has seen it. Oh, he got vision of it. But T90 kills the Watcher and draws first blood in this tourney of mere champions. T90 looks like he has got fewer villagers constructing the castle, but he doesn't really need that many. He had a healthy head start, plus his castle is nowhere in jeopardy. Expecting some kind of counterattack, knowing that T90's castle is going to go up first. Our Malay in blue is already walling off using the berries, but that's a whole bunch of wasted time, as it's in fact his castle that goes up first. Lames, not a whole lot, to be honest. But that's not the real main point of this castle. The main point of this castle is to be a sword of Damocles hanging over the head of your opponent so that he can start pumping out these Karambits. 2 of them, remember, come at the cost of only 1 population space. And T90 does not want his rear-ended, basically, as he now begins walling off. And he's sending a relief force here. A relief force that outnumbers his opponent 2-1. And because we're in Castle Age, because we are Malay, take a look at their armor upgrades. +2/+2 automatic for free, gratis. Not a single cent was spent here. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of villagers on gold. And now let's look at villager allocation as the battle begins. redphosphoru, 29 villagers still. 2 villagers ahead. Neither player, or pardon me, 1 villager ahead now. Right as T90's production cycle is over. 1 villager ahead. 11 on wood. 17 on gold. So he is just gonna, I guess, buy food. There we go, a bit of a scuffle here between Karambits, both of them holding massive Karambits in their hands. Oversized, I would say, Karambits, much like the Obuch holds a oversized Jamjack hammer. And I love when the Karambit attacks, takes this massive step forward I guess you need as much leverage. You have to be as low to the ground as you possibly can be when you're holding these two massive daggers, knives, whatever they are. Yeah, so they're just going to buy food. Although now the allocation's a little bit different. Red Phosphorus got 17 on gold to T90's 13. T90 has a bit more on food, 4 to 3. And he's got 10 to 7 on wood. He's also now a villager ahead, even though he was a villager behind a second ago. So he is dumping food into villagers. Both players in their teens when it comes to their army count. T90 making no attempt to go towards Red Phosphoru's base. We've seen some of those games where players say, hey, you're attacking into me. I'm just going to counter attack into you. And then the game gets real messy real fast. Players start losing town centers. They start expanding out onto the map. No one knows where the hell to go. Resources are gobbled up that normally wouldn't be gobbled up. Villager does die. Army count. Red Phosphoru is now 7 karambits ahead. And T90 is training another villager. So T90 is confident that he can hold here. He does not want to fall behind economically. One answer to the Red Phosphoru attack is to just hold on. For the love of God, just hold on like Kate Winslet to that door. Or the door, the cabinet. What the hell was she holding on to at the end of Titanic? That definitely could have fit Leonardo DiCaprio. Whatever it is, you hold on for dear life. You grow your economy, and then you hope that in the next 10 to 15 minutes, your opponent, the Red Phosphoru, has not done any critical damage, and then you can just overwhelm. In the meantime, T90 wants to get into this gold patch. He wants to start slaughtering these gold mining villagers. Not that there's some of them are not really even working here. They're kind of stuck. There's too many of them. There's too little space. And T90, I thought he was going to counterattack. No, he's going up to the right. Maybe heal a few of those. Damn you, farm. Says Red Phosphoru. Okay, he's now ahead 12 karambits, but he's down 5 villagers. So if T90 can hold on, if he can stay alive, staying alive, then he will be in a good position in, say, about 10 minutes, because Red Phosphoru is not really getting any damage done. He's killed 4 units and one of them a villager. T90's killed 7 units and one of them is a villager. So our Malay and Red so far winning the Civil War, winning the numbers here. Unfortunately, if he takes a direct fight, that's something he needs to avoid. He's down 14 karambits. And where the hell's Red Phosphoru going? Has he not seen that this is a dead end? Oh yeah, T90. Come on, wall this in. And all of a sudden, your opponent's army is gone. All of a sudden, you can have your way with this gold mining operation. I mean, they're both trying to do the fancy schmancy patrol attack stance, but what the hell is going on? Why did T90 take that fight? And now reinforcements rear end the red army. 1 red reinforcements try to rear end the blue army. And in the blink of an eye, what the hell just happened there? Look at T90's army count. What the hell just happened there? We need to go back and look at that for a second. I mean, kudos to both of them for doing the patrol move. Look at this. For a second, they were just both of them. This is like the India-Pakistan border, you know, when you see that ceremony where they, with those cool hats, and they do the stomping on the ground when they open the gates between the two countries. It looks like they were just like, look at this. My patrol is better than your patrol. Na. To be fair, T90's attacking with his entire army. Red Phosphoru is attacking with like a third of his army. So what the hell happened here that's so bad? I'm gonna rewind right until the moment the attack started. I want to see the health bars. Yeah, look at T90. He's down about 300. He's down about a third army size. Some of his units are injured, but that's okay. Some of Red Phosphoru's units are injured too. I'm trying to make sense of what's happening. The health bars are getting in the way of that. Because again, it looks like Red Phosphoru is not really attacking with the majority of his army, but do you see blue bodies on the floor? I only see red bodies. There's a blue body now. Another one falls. And by the time these reinforcements arrive, ignore you. I mean, T90's down to 7 karambits. How did he take how is that fight so bad for him? I honestly don't understand. Maybe this is where being a player comes into. If somebody in the comments understands what the hell just happened here, I have no clue. To me, it seems like look at Red Phosphoru's army. it looks like literally half of it's not fighting. T90 should have won that handily. Is this maybe some new fancy maneuver? I don't know. redphosphoru always wanted to come up with some cool maneuver, but it doesn't matter. Here is the last of us. The last Karambit, and kudos to T90 for sending him, charging him Jon Snow style straight to his death. And what the hell just happened? There are so many red dead bodies, but at the end of the day, 27 Karambits to 51? Why such a massive disparity? Resources at the end of the day both have the exact same amount of gold, both have no food, both have the exact same amount of wood, and both have no stone. So how the hell did redphosphoru train 24? Are you telling me T90 going up 5 villagers cost him 24 army supply? Oh, I love Age of Empires. I love this game of economics and mathematics, and this is where Spirit of the Law would be would have probably a very quick, very definitive, and very correct answer. Something. Those 3 things are not my specialty. My specialty is just making fart jokes and enjoying armies fighting each other. PKPM right towards the end. PKPM right towards the end. Big surprise. But what the hell was that fight? That went so bad for T90. No. And yeah, look at the economy. 500 resources ahead. So less than 10% bigger economy. A lot more wood for our Malay and red. Food identical, gold almost identical, stone whatever was needed. I mean, I think T90 did sell. Bought, sold. Yeah, he sold, it looks like 900 to the 800, and he bought 800 to the 500. I have yet to make sense of all of this. In any event, one raising. I mean, the game lasted like 5 minutes. 28 kills to 17. That was just, again, I did not expect it to go that bad for T90. But kudos to him for taking on the Malay Spam King. And like I said, had T90 maybe moved across to this side of the map, he could have, I think with the 24 Karambits, he could have put a good dent into this TC. Maybe had he sent a few more, because all he had to do was really hold on. And this move here, scary as it is, I mean, he'll get the Palisade Gate, but now you've got stone walls behind there. Although, ooh, only 2. No. Not enough to place yet another. These cost 5 stone each. Has he seen the stone back here? Ooh, maybe he could have long distance mined like 20 more stone and put up a bit more wall here. A few more walls up. But whether or not that's the case doesn't really matter. What a fun game. And like I said, mirror matchups. These 2 players, the exact same elo. But as I said in the beginning, I think this was just because redphosphoru practices with the civilization so much, so regularly, plays them non-stop, he's always going to be advantaged. I don't care. He might as well be taking on Hera, and I would say the same thing. Hera would be the underdog if he tried to take on basically redphosphoru's home turf. And I love that T90 tried to bust his way into here. Maybe he should have risked those Karambits instead of trying to bust into the house and then the Palisade. Now that there's a house here, maybe he should have risked a few of those Karambits to stream up, left, and down. Because then, I mean, he would have lost, like, what do we think, 5 or 6 of them en route? And then the other 10 would have just slaughtered these villagers. Or maybe redphosphoru would have deleted this infrastructure, but then where can he run? He can only run this way. Or if he ran to the castle, he'd lose a few more. You lose your Karambits, but all of a sudden the gold income of your opponent is gone. So maybe he should have risked it for the biscuit. Who knows? Doesn't really matter in this particular matchup. What a bonkers way to end it. Again, there's just way too many red dead bodies. If somebody understands what the hell happened between those 2 patrol command armies, let me know. It felt like redphosphoru should have taken a much worse fight, but it ends up being T90 who takes the worst fight. And with that amazing fight, it is redphosphoru who takes the W, but GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.